Look, Toyota have been killing it recently with their cars. I remember going to Goodwood Festival of Speed a few years ago now and seeing the new Mark V Supra. And a few years later, of course, the GR Yaris came out, which is an amazing car too. These cars look like so much fun. Like, I'm tempted to go to a dealership and test drive one. If I had the money, I would definitely buy one of these for my daily driver. And it comes with a wide body from factory too. These cars just look so good. Enough talking about the Yaris. And then lastly, of course, we've got the GR86, which at the moment in time is probably one of the best sports cars you can buy. They basically fixed everything wrong about the old GT86, and yet again, Toyota's styling lately, just look at this car, man, it looks so good. Honestly, my dream car garage would be like all three of these cars. I'm not even lying. And you also have the new GR Corolla, which we can't get in the UK, but these also look amazing. However, we're missing the final piece of the puzzle. The MR2 as a whole is honestly, it's one of the best cars I've ever driven. It's so much fun. And I've been lucky enough to drive a Mark III, which I know isn't the most loved MR2, but in my opinion is very underrated. And since that generation, we've not really heard anything about the MR2. However, as many of you probably know, at the Japan Mobility Show a few months ago, the Toyota FT SE was shown off, which is apparently going to be Toyota's all new electric sports car, which is really interesting. But before I say anything else, I don't think this is going to be the next MR2. You see, over the past couple of days, there's been a few interesting leaks about the actual next generation MR2, which I find really interesting. If you're a fan of Japanese cars, you would know that Best Car Magazine in Japan loves to leak the odd Japanese car design. In the Japanese car community, they're known to be quite accurate with their leaks. So to be fair, they're pretty good at leaking designs. And basically, a couple of weeks ago, they showed off this, the leak of the brand new MR2, which is really exciting because I feel like the FTSE isn't really another MR2, and I don't want to hate on the FTSE. Like, it does look like an interesting car, but of course we want a mid-engine sports car, you know, we want an engine in the middle. And as car enthusiasts, most of us prefer combustion engine cars to electric cars. That's just how it is. So hearing about a new MR2 with an actual engine in it is really exciting. And not just any engine too. Toyota are actually thinking of putting the 1.6 from the GR Yaris, the 3-cylinder turbo, into this new MR2, which is pretty solid because that's a pretty good engine. You know, luckily it's not just another BMW engine, which isn't hating on BMW, but you all know what I mean. Don't get me wrong, the B58 is a great engine. We just wanted a modern version of the TJZ, so it's good to know that this new MR2 will at least have a Toyota engine in it, and quite a good engine too. Like, it's super light and produces quite a lot of power for its size. In terms of transmission, I'm absolutely praying, like I'm sure most of us are, for a manual transmission. However, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have it with the new automatic transmission Toyota has just announced, but if they could have the manual as an option too, that would be great. So engine and transmission are looking good so far, which is a positive. And in terms of looks, I think this car looks insane so far. Of course, MR2s are sort of known for looking like sort of off-brand Ferraris, which in my opinion is a massive compliment because this car does look like a mini Ferrari, and depending on what design they go with, I think both of them look really solid. Of course, like, they change by the time they're actually in production. However, this design seems to be circling around a lot, and in my opinion it looks really solid. But of course, two designs are being developed and I can't really find much of the other one, so I'm hoping it is this one because it is my favourite. Now, there actually is quite a lot of bad news to this, and I'm really hoping this isn't true. You see, it could only be sold in Japan, and there may only be 50 to 100 units made. And to top it all off, this car could cost from 80 to 100 grand US dollar, which is unobtainable for most people. And that's just so frustrating. I mean, I definitely won't be able to afford that, and even getting your hands on one is going to be hard if this is all true. So we're going to have to hope that the price of this isn't going to be too expensive, because I think a lot of people are going to love this car. But it's really interesting because obviously, you know, a few weeks ago, the FTSE was announced, and that's a really exciting car, don't get me wrong. However, I feel like a lot more people are going to be excited about this just because it's a combustion engine, and of course it's probably going to have the actual MR2 name. Hopefully we see a little bit more of this car this year because it's a really exciting leak, and I'm just hoping that this car actually goes ahead. But obviously if it does get released, like, it needs to be at a price where everyone can afford it, and it's not just in Japan. But I do trust Toyota. I mean, the GR86 is a great car. The GR Yaris is an amazing car. The Supra was a little bit underwhelming with the B58, but if this car is actually produced and made, I have no doubt in Toyota that they'll make a good car. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments though, and if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to subscribe. It's free and you might as well. And I do make car content like this all the time, so go ahead and check out my other videos if you found some enjoyment in this one. I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now.